Where we last left off, it was tropical storm conditions in Guilford after our 13-mile scenic drive from Brantford. So we decided to come back on a much nicer day with the weather that could not have been more spectacular exactly a year later.
I know exactly where we are.
You
Yep. Yep. I know exactly where we are.
Oh, we're in, yes!
Yes, I knew
We
it.
were in this town.
Yes, I told you.
It was
that.
raining. Remember, it was pouring.
Yes, all of the above.
Really close. Whoa! Hello? Okay, so now we know where we are. And as soon as we parked and realized, I said, no, we need to go to the water. The whole reason we came back was not only to capture some of the awesomeness of this town, but also because it wasn't raining. And I wanted to get to the water. So the first stop was Jacob's Beach. Let's take a gander. While those clouds look like we may be reliving last year's trip, there was no rain, but it made for some glorious video, I think. What do you think? To stick by the water, we decided to check out the Guilford Marina. We did not go out on a boat, and that's not our thing, but it was certainly nice to see the landscape from this vantage point. Say hello to the Little Red Shack on Grass Island in Guilford. It was originally built in 1914 by a local druggist, J. Harrison Monroe. After a fire in 1936 and relentless weather challenges up to the 1950s, the shack was relocated to its current condition, but continued to face weather damage and vandalism. In 1965, the town of Guilford purchased the shack, and in 2016, it underwent a full renovation thanks to the efforts of a local Eagle Scout. Now that we got our water sites out of the way, it was time for an early dinner. I took a stroll about town and settled on Prime, which we really enjoyed. So much so that we went back 2 nights in a row. After dinner, we stopped by Bishop's Orchards, which is an institution evidently. A family-owned farm since 1871, it's grown to 313 acres and managed by multiple generations of the Bishop family.
Little Red Barn at Bishop's Orchards.
Haven't already, make sure you come grab yourselves an answer sheet and a pencil. You'll just need 1 sheet per team for now.
The market offers a variety of fresh produce, fresh flowers, baked goods, local products, a winery, CSA memberships, holiday food orders, and events throughout the year. Visit bishopsorchards.com. Oh, and they have an ice cream shop, so of course, Trevor insisted on that. We felt like we covered a lot in half a day. We were ready for tomorrow. Now, this is where I was a little disappointed. We like to stay in a place local to the community we're visiting, but one of the only couple places were regular hotels. I couldn't find a B&B or an inn or anything a little bit more upscale. So we stayed at the Comfort Inn on I-95. It was clean, quiet, convenient, and offered free breakfast. And the price was very reasonable. However, the free breakfast wasn't going to work for us after perusing the buffet. Luckily, the Shoreline Diner was very nearby, and we thoroughly enjoyed that as a backup. The service was impeccable, and their technology made ordering and paying a breeze. After realizing that we had already been to this town, we wanted to bop around and see the shops in town sans rain. Our first stop was touring the green a bit. Town greens in Connecticut in general have deep historical roots going back centuries. The town greens were originally multifunctional public spaces for everything from grazing livestock to military drills and public gatherings. Over time, especially with movements like City Beautiful in the late 19th century, many of these greens evolved into landscaped parks with pathways, trees, and memorials, serving as the heart of the community and a place for public events and celebrations. You can visit connecticuthistory.org/the-Connecticut-town-green, or just go to the search bar like I did and type town greens. It'll get you there too. The Guilford Green is on the larger side, standing at an expansive 7.7 acres, which was originally laid out in 1639. As a quick comparison, and since we live in Roxbury, Connecticut, the town green there is a tiny half acre. And to go one step further, since our office is in New Milford, the New Milford's green is even less than a half an acre, but it's more linear, stretching 100 feet wide and a quarter mile long. For visitors unfamiliar with Connecticut, these spaces resemble a park. Town greens hold significant historical value, often marked by memorials and monuments that tell the story of the town's past and its development over the centuries. For more detailed historical insights, explore connecticuthistory.org and towngreens.com. This is the segment of the show where Trevor likes to get lost. Not me so much. That is not my thing. But off we went, and what looked familiar was what we remember from the 13-mile scenic trip from Branford. We stumbled upon the Barbara Pine Memorial Beach. It used to be called the Daniel Avenue Beach. It's a small and somewhat secluded public beach and was renamed in honor of Barbara Pine, a dedicated local resident who served on the Guilford Parks and Recreation Commission. Barbara was a strong advocate for allowing dogs on the beach and worked tirelessly to improve the town's recreational spaces, including Jacob's Beach. The beach allows for swimming, kayaking, and enjoying the natural beauty of the area. It has amenities such as restrooms and free parking, but no lifeguards are on duty, so visitors should exercise caution when swimming. We got back in the car to scout the neighboring community on the water. Take a stroll with us. Okay, we got a little sidetracked from the original bopping around town, so we headed back to do a little bit of shopping. We found a tea and spice place that we absolutely loved, and the options are incredible. I highly recommend if you're into cooking, tea, fresh honey, products from all over the state. And we're walking, and we keep walking. And all of a sudden, we stumble upon, yes, the Italian Festival. Now, if you remember from our drive from Branford into Guilford when it was tropical storm weather, there was an amusement park festival that was completely ruined by the rain, but we got spectacular weather this year. So being from New York, we had to take advantage of grabbing ourselves a sausage and pepper wedge, or is it a hero, or a sandwich, or a sub? What do you call it? And also a meatball one, of course. And because of proximity, we took advantage and went back to Prime for a little happy hour. But you remember that sign that you just saw from the Italian Festival for the place? Yeah, this is what happened. The place is the actual original reason that drew us to going to Guilford. I wanted to check out the place, and we ate too much and didn't eat there, but the hours are typically Monday through Thursday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Fridays 5 to 9. Saturday is 1 to 9, and Sunday is 12 to 8. It's open typically from the last weekend of April through the end of October. Hours may change according to when there is a holiday.
Say when.
What? When? I'm already recording.
That's
Hilarious.
That's a werewolf.
As we wrap up our tour of Guilford, we did a few drive-bys. We usually visit at least one museum in a town, but we didn't make it this time. If you're a history buff, you'll love this. First up, we have the Thomas Griswold House. This is a classic saltbox house which sits on Old Post Road, now one of the state's scenic roads. It was built by Thomas Griswold III for his two sons, Ezra and John Griswold Jr., in 1764. It's a prime example of colonial New England architecture, offering visitors a glimpse into the life of a typical Connecticut family in the 18th century. Thomas Griswold III was a blacksmith, and the family reflects the lifestyle and conditions of a colonial-era craftsman and his family. The house stayed in the Griswold family until 1958, when it was purchased by the Guilford Keeping Society. Next, we strolled down Lover's Lane and found the Guilford Fairgrounds, which is known for hosting the annual Guilford Fair, one of the oldest agricultural fairs in the state. The fairgrounds are a hub of local culture and entertainment, from live music and classic carnival rides to agricultural exhibits and local crafts. And finally, thank you for sticking around till the end, we head over to the Henry Whitfield State Museum. This site is the home to Connecticut's oldest stone house, built in 1639. The Henry Whitfield House served not only as a residence, but also as a fort for the early settlers. Today, it stands as a museum where you can learn about the early colonial era, the Pequot War, and Guilford's founding. The exhibits inside offer a deep dive into the town's origins, and lush grounds surrounding the museum provide a peaceful setting for a stroll through history. You can visit newenglandhistoricalsociety.com for more information about this museum. Thank you so much for visiting with us. We hope you enjoyed our visit and visiting with us. And please like and subscribe and join us as we continue our journey through visiting every town in Connecticut. Stick around because we're going to visit Madison next.